Hello, this is Jaspreet Islam with you. Welcome to my new lesson. We know that deforestation is a matter of great concern. We have to take immediate steps against cutting down trees at random. We have to take immediate steps against cutting down trees at random. Here have to is a phrase. Today we will learn about the uses of three phrases. Have to, had better, would rather. Have to, had better and would rather. So today we learn the uses of three phrases such as have to, had better and would rather. Our first rule is have to. Have to is used to express obligation in a sentence. Have to is used to express obligation in a sentence. We use have to express obligation. To express obligation. The Bengali meaning of obligation is baddhobadhokata. Obligation, that means baddhobadhokata. If the subject is third person singular number, then you will use has to. If the tense belongs to past, then you will use had to. Had to. Here you have to remember that after have, has, had, we use the past participle form of the verb. Whenever you put to after have, has, had, then it will become have to, has to or had to. And have to, has to, had to will work as modal auxiliary. As modal auxiliary. We know that after modal auxiliary we use the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb. Modal auxiliaries are shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, need, dare, must. After all these modal auxiliaries, you have to use the base form of the verb. You have to use the base form of the verb. And here, after have to or had to or has to, you will use the base form of the verb. In your exam, you will get after have to, has to or had to, you will get the base form of the verb. Base form of the verb. If the subject is third person singular, then you will get the clue has to. You will get has to. If the tense belongs to past, then you will get had to. Had to. Then have to, has to or had to are all used to express obligation. After have to, has to or had to, you have to use the base form of the verb. For example, I have class test tomorrow. I have class test tomorrow. I will have to study whole night. I have class test tomorrow. So, I have class test tomorrow. So, I have to read. I have to read. I must read. I will have to study whole night because tomorrow is my exam and I must read. I must read. My college is far away from our house. My college is far away from my house. My college is far away from my house. Then I have to walk a long way to go to my college. As a student, I have to go to my college. I have to go to my college. I have no other option. So, what should I do? I must go to college. But whenever my college is far away from my house, whenever college is far away from my house, then I have to walk a long way. I have to walk a long way to go to my college. To go to my college. My college is far away from my house. Here in this sentence we say that have to is used to express obligation. Express obligation. I have been suffering from fever for a long time. I have been suffering from fever for a long time. So what should I do? What should I do? I have been suffering from fever for a long time. For a long time. Then what should I do? What will I say? I will say I have to seek advice from a doctor. From a doctor. I have to seek advice from a doctor. I must do it. I must do it because I have been suffering from fever for a long time. For a long time. Have to is used to express obligation in a sentence. We generally use have to express obligation. Then our next rule is had better. We use had better to give a strong advice or to tell people what to do. We use had better to give a strong advice or to tell people what to do. Suppose your friend has come to your house, but it is getting dark outside. It is getting dark outside. Then you suggest your friend. You suggest your friend or you tell your friend, you had better go home now. You had better go home now. Whenever you want to suggest him, then you will say, you had better go home now because it is getting dark outside. It is getting dark outside. And for this reason, you will say, you had better go home. You had better go home. Suppose Salam is your friend and he feels pain in his chest. What will be your advice? Then what will be your advice? Then of course you will say, he had better go back to the hospital for a scan. You will suggest him, or your advice will be like this. Your advice will be like this. Here you have to remember that for both have to and had better, you will get the same. You will get the base form of the verb. After had better, after have to, you will get the base form of the verb. After had better, you will get the base form of the verb. You have to be careful about using had better or have to. If you get both this option in your exam, then you have to be careful. You have to be careful. You will remember that have to is used to express obligation. Have to is used to express obligation. And had better is used. Had better is used to give advice. You have to remember two things. On have to is used to express obligation and had better is used to express advice. After have to, you will get the base form of the verb, and after had better, you will get the base form of the verb. But both are used in different way. In a sentence. One is used to express obligation and another is used to express or give advice. Another is used to give advice. One is used to express obligation and another is used to give advice. Or to tell people what to do. Then our next rule, would rather. We use would rather to talk about preparing one thing to another. Would rather is used when we express alternative. In order to choose alternative, we use would rather. You will find two options in a sentence. You have to choose one option. You will get then in a sentence, and then will be used between the two options. Suppose, I would rather die than beg. I would rather die than beg. Here you will say, I would rather die. What will I do? I will die. Then beg. Here you have to remember that you will do the first option. You will choose the first option. Not the second. And you will get then in between the option. First option, then second option. Here in this sentence, I would rather die than beg. Then here you will get then in between die and beg. What will you do? You will die. I would rather die than beg. Here I will die. Not beg, not beg. Here you have to remember that you will get a sentence containing two options and then is used between the two options. Then is used. Taking bribe is a great sin. Taking bribe is a great sin. Then I would rather die than take bribe. Then take bribe. Taking bribe is a great sin. So I will not take bribe. I will not take bribe. What will I do? I would rather die than take bribe. I would rather die than take bribe. I will not take bribe. I will not take bribe. I will choose the first option. I will choose the first option. What will be the option? The option is die. Taking bribe is a great sin. I would rather die than take bribe. Then another example. We have visited the Sundarban. We have visited the Sundarban. Then we would rather pay a visit to Coxbazar than the Sundarban. We would rather pay a visit to Coxbazar than the Sundarban. We would rather pay a visit to Coxbazar than the Sundarban. We have already visited Sundarban. So we will not choose the Sundarban. We will not choose the option. We have two options. One is to visit the Sundarban and another is to visit the Coxbazar. But suppose you have visited the Sundarban. You have visited the Sundarban already. You have visited the Sundarban. Then what will you choose? Of course you will choose to visit Coxbazar. Then you will say, I would rather pay a visit to Coxbazar than the Sundarban. Here, after would rather, you will get the base form of the verb. Here, after would rather, you will also get the base form of the verb. For all three rules, for all these rules, you have to remember that after have to, you will get the base form of the verb. After had better, you will also get the base form of the verb. And after would rather, you will also get the base form of the verb. But have to is used to express obligation and had better is used to give advice and would rather is used to choose alternative. Would rather is used to choose an alternative. I think you have understood all these three rules. Thank you for watching this video. Stay connected with my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.